Welcome back to the channel, guys at Passionate About RC. Today we've got a customer's Hoss in for an inspection. It's got no drive to the rear wheels, they're just not going. So initially we would possibly think there's a diff issue, front, centre or rear. Obviously centre and rear being the most likely if it was anything to do with the diffs. But going to have a good inspection and see where we go from there. There is another thing that it could also be, which is quite common once you start upgrading or putting a lot of power in and driving these cars quite regularly without the extra maintenance, is the hex hubs which the wheels sit on. There's a little pin inside those. The rear takes quite a lot of torque on this car, so sometimes the pin strips through all the plastic and rounds it out. So effectively, if you hold the drive shafts tight, the wheels will spin on the hex. So that's going to be our first port of call here. So we'll go from there. Another handy thing to have when you're working on any car, especially the way we do it with Traxxas, because we've got the access to all the exploded views, would be to find the rear assembly. This is the page for the rear assembly that we're going to be working on. But to find the relevant page of the car that you're going to be working on, gives you all the part numbers, etc. In fact, let me show you that a little bit closer. So you're going to be looking at effectively this part here, the little hex. So that's what the wheel sits onto. There's a little washer behind that, then a bearing, but there's a pin that holds through the axle here. So the little teeny pin, if you can see that on the diagram, goes through there. That hex clicks over the top of it, so there's a little groove. And when they round out, it effectively creates a hole inside that hex. It just melts and gives way. So that, I think, is what we're going to look at. So you've got the potential to upgrade that piece to aluminium, which isn't much more expensive to replace the hexes with aluminium parts, which is the 1654X, and that's the aluminium version. But people effectively then ruin the wheel. So the hex cut out in the wheel becomes the next weakest point. So it's a bit of a catch-22. If the plastic ones run for long enough before there's damage, I would run the plastic again, just keep putting the plastic ones on. It's literally a 2-minute fix if you've got those in your box. Pull the old one off, put the new one on, and you're off again. And a lot cheaper than having to replace your wheel if you round out the hex inside the wheel. Because if you've got the aluminium ones on here, they won't give way. The plastic of the wheel is going to give way if it needs to. So bear that in mind. If you want to do the upgrade to the aluminium, go for it, but my personal opinion would be to stick with the plastics and save your wheels. So let's have a quick look. Let's grab a driver out of the Traxxas tool set, get these wheel nuts off. So 7mm box wrench, just to get your wheel nuts off. Just hold on to the drive shaft. Wheel nuts off, wheels off. So basically we're looking into this here. So to get that off, it's pretty, I mean, some people struggle with finding out how you get these off, but literally some sort of small tool that you can get in the groove and just jimmy it off of the pin. Just be gentle because you don't want to snap the pin or break anything as you're popping that off. See, this one, initially this one's looking okay, to be fair, this side. But we'll take it off anyway. Just jimming it off slowly. It's quite tight on this one. There we go. So the fact that that was quite tight on looks like that one's okay. So you can see the groove. That's where the pin sits in. So the pin and everything's good this side. So let's pop that one back on. You'll line the groove up before you push it on. So that one's okay. that one's okay. So again, gonna try all four. That was quite loose, that wheel nut, so the wheel nut come a little bit loose. So inspect the inside of your wheel rim, which is where the hex sits into that hex cut out there. So that one's a good. I mean, literally, I've just pulled that. I didn't even need to use a tool to get that off. So I'm assuming 100%. Look at that. So you saw the other one. That one hasn't got a middle to it. The whole middle's gone. So the pins destroyed the groove that it sits in and rounded it out to the point that that's going to be no good. Effectively, that wheel is just spinning on the thing. So that's going to require a new one of them. That's it. That's all you're going to need. While we're here, I am going to check the two front wheels as well. You might as well just check all of them while you're there. That one looks fine. I can see, I mean, you don't have to take it off fully. You can actually see the pins in the groove still on that front one, so that's all good. Sometimes just a quick inspection can save a lot of time. And some of this stuff's pretty straightforward and quick to do. Don't over tighten them, just do the rest by hand. Again, that one looks fine too. Don't know if you'll see this on camera, but if you can see it, which I don't think you will, but you can see just even before taking it off, the pin's still in the groove. So what I'm going to do for the purposes of the camera and this film is just highlight what part has gone, and then we'll when we fit in the new ones, we'll show you the rest. So I won't tighten any of that up because we're going to basically have that off again. So what we'll do now, call the customer, let him know what part's gone here, which is a cheap part, a couple of quid, £4 or £5 to fit some new ones on. So I'll give him the options. You just want me to replace this one and leave the rest and keep the rest in the packet in case any more go, or just to refresh the lot all together and go from there, because he may choose to go the aluminium route, so it's down to him if he wants to go with that. So there you have it, guys. There's a little fault finding session on the Traxxas Hoss. We'll be back with the rest as soon as we've got back to the customer. Okay, so we're back. We've just got off the phone to the customer, and actually what he's going to do is just to replace the one that's gone, which is clearly gone. Keep one spare that you get in the packet in case any of the others go. So we're on packet 1654, which is a pair of the plastic hexes and the pins. And we're also going to go with a packet of 1985, which are the PTFE coated washers, just to take up a little bit of the slack, because that other one's going to have been damaged as well there. So we'll pop the pin out. We'll put a fresh pin in as well. Look at this. Something in there. What's this? Don't know if he's used something else there. I think he might have used his own. I think he might have used his own washer there, which may have caused it, because that's metal. That shouldn't have been in there. I have to check the other side in case. So yeah, use the parts that are meant to be on the car. You're going to end up with trouble. Let's grab one of these washers. That's what it looks like. Just going to put one on. That should be enough. fresh plastic. Fresh pin. So fresh pin in. That feels okay. And the new plastic slides over the top. And that pushed on, so that's all good. Pop your wheel back on. And your wheel nut. Make sure it's up decent. Very good. Right, I am going to double check this rear one, just to make sure he hasn't changed the washers for any reason, because that doesn't look like the original spacer that was on there, so I wonder if he's changed them. That one looks okay, so keep that one for now. He's got a bag of extras if he wants to swap them over. It's a tight fit, make sure the pins equal. So the car should be good to go now. So that was a nice easy fix. So there have it, guys. Old hex with a damaged centre. It's just through pure acceleration and torque that the Hoss puts out to the rear wheels. The pin just spins around inside that and wrecks it. What it should look like is that one, where the pin sits in that groove. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy these videos. Hopefully we're going to do quite a lot more whenever we get in repair jobs, and show you what we do and what you can do yourself to help yourself get back on the road quick.